In 2003, Will Ferrell starred in the contemporary Christmas movie Elf, about a human named Buddy who is raised by elves and all the challenges he faces when he tries to re-enter the human world. Elf was an instant classic, and it's easy to see why. It's got all the charm and fluff you expect from a Christmas movie. It delivers on classic Christmas aesopes like the value of family and keeping focus on what's really important in life. And it does it all without being avaricious, but having fun and laughing all the way. Elf boasts a cast of A-listers. There's the incomparable Will Ferrell in the title role, and he fills it with a charm and innocence that could very easily have felt insincere. This kind of childlike adult character is hard to pull off, but Ferrell does it well. Buddy sees himself as a screw-up and a misfit, but it's his honest, open heart that changes everyone around him for the better. There's Zooey Deschanel as Jovi, Buddy's love interest. Can't say I'm a big fan of the defrosting ice queen trope in romantic comedies. I think it's a little overused, but Deschanel plays the part well. The film portrays her as being more jaded than cynical, which explains why she would fall for Buddy. James Caan plays Walter, Buddy's corrupt corporate executive father, and even though his character arc is a foregone conclusion, it's executed well. Ed Asner makes an adorably gruff Santa, and Bob Newhart's bookending narration adds a welcome old-fashioned charm. Mary Steenburgen has a fairly small role as Walter's wife Emily, but she deserves mention for the warmth she brings to the character. I love the lack of judgment on her part when she finds out about Buddy. Considering where we find Walter at the start of the story, you can't help but wonder if Emily hopes this revelation will make Walter stand up and take notice of what really matters in life, and hopefully focus more on his family. Peter Dinklage only has one scene as Miles Finch, but he gives a standout performance. And I even really like Daniel Tay as Michael, Walter and Emily's son. At first he seems like a typical rebellious kid, but he warms up so quickly to Buddy just spending time with him. It validates Emily's concern that Michael needs his father's affection, and soon. The response to Elf was a resounding yes. It's one of the few modern Christmas films to become a true instant classic. And for as much as I love Will Ferrell, Elf is one of only 2 of his movies that I can say I respect. The other is Stranger Than Fiction. Also Megamind, but that's another story. So why do I respect Elf? Simple. For all its silliness, it is sincere. People who grew up in the 90s seem to have especially strong nostalgia goggles, and yeah, there's plenty of good stuff that came out of that era, but one trend the 90s brought on that wasn't so great was apathy. The 90s ushered in an era where it was hip to not care about anything, when showing any kind of emotion at all was considered dorky and uncool. Sitcoms overdosed on sarcasm. Everyone seemed to talk exclusively in quips and witty one-liners. Even kids' shows were affected. There was this need to distance yourself from responsibility, from caring. It got so bad, I remember seeing The Last Airbender for the first time and being so impressed that these kids were actually allowed to show concern for one another. And now we have people writing into Alex Hirsch and thanking him for giving us a show where the 2 main siblings don't hate each other. Thankfully, we're seeing this trend of apathy die off in the media with shows like Avatar and movies like Elf. Sure, Elf has plenty of silly moments and modern fish-out-of-water jokes, but in the end it's not afraid to taste like diabetes. It's no coincidence that in the film's climax, Santa's sleigh won't fly because nobody believes in him. The technology he created to adapt to the times is taken away from him, and it's good old-fashioned Christmas spirit that saves the day. Frozen hearts are taught to love again, misfits find their places, and a broken family is made whole. This is what we want our Christmas movies to be. Heartwarming stories of love, family, and faith. The ones that make us especially grateful for the good things in our lives. Elf was an instant classic, beloved by just about everybody. Join me on Christmas Eve, where I'll be talking about a movie that's almost just as loved as it is hated.